All right, here we go, guys. This is another one for YouTube here from Tournament Guidebook, coming out next year by my guy Vishnu Warrior. Now, of course, we do want to keep the videos shorter this time so more people can watch and watch the entirety of the videos. This is a 53 move game with Akiba Rubinstein versus Esteban Canal back in the day. And that's 1929. So back in the day, way back. But today, today's analysis is actually called Rest in Peace Bishop, Rip Bishop, R.I.P. Bishop, all the same thing. Watch, we're going to look at it today on what you should not be doing with your bishop. Now, here we go. White, in this game, we're going to fly through a little bit of the opening. Here we go. D4, knight f6, c4, e6, knight c3, d5. All stuff you regularly seeing. This right here is like Queen's Gambit decline, right? Knight f3, bishop e7, bishop f4, and c6. So here, sort of like a semi-Slavish kind of thing. But in these type of positions with black, let me flip one time, flip. When you do this flip, you're supposed to take this, play b5, bishop b7, a6, right? And then you play c5 to activate the bishop. If you fail to do this, rest in peace to your bishop, okay? If you fail to do this, rest in peace to your bishop. Garbage. Just so you know. So with that being said, let's flip. Let's run that back. Here we're looking at this as a semi-Slav type position. Let's see what happens. E3, knight b to d7. Now, if you look on the contrary here, what you should be doing is actually keeping your bishop outside the pawn chain. If we look at white here, the bishop is where? Is it inside the pawn chain or outside the pawn chain? It's outside. So because it's outside, we don't have the same problem that black does, which is rest in peace to your bishop, big fella. So after h3, castles, queen c2, d takes c4. Okay, nice. Look at him. Bishop takes c4, and then knight b6. Now, first off, we're going to hit him with one of these. Secondly, we got to hit him with one of these. Because what you going to do with this bishop? Like, are you kidding me? Right, we just talked about what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to play b5, bishop b7, a6, and in fact, b5, bishop b3. You play bishop b7, there's a castle. You play a6, you play c5. Very simple. This is semi-Slav fashion. I'm a fan of this as well. I play a lot of different openings nowadays because I like to stay versatile and just know a little bit of everything, as Magnus says. And also knowing a lot of everything as well. Like it just takes a lot of study, to be honest. But I have experimented with this and it's fun. And you can use it from time to time, this opening. But you're going to play c5 and open up the bishop. This bishop is best placed on d6. With that being said, none of this happened. Let's go back. He played knight to b6. Now, where do you put this bishop at? You can go b3 or d3. White chose b3. Knight f to d5, right? Now, you would think knight b to d5 so you can get this bishop out. But okay, knight f to d5, and then a castle. Knight takes, and knight d5. And now in this position, chat, we're going to leave it to you now. It's 53 moves here. We got like 40 left. So we're going to fly through some here, and some of these are really cool. But it's white to move in this position. What do you do, guys? Chat, what do you think? This one's on you. This one is on you. I watch this to be banned during online play. Maybe. I mean, you know, same thing as what everybody else using, me phone, whatever. 95, rook 80, e1. Okay. What else we got? Rook d1. We got some rook d1s in there. Rook d1. 95. A rook. To e1 or d1? Queen d2. So you're saying rook a to d1. Okay, queen d2s. G3 from Sasso, knight e5, knight g5. Okay, get rid of the knight. Okay, I'm liking it. In fact, the move here is just g3. This pawn is hanging. Think about this. This pawn is straight up hanging. Why give him a pawn when you don't have to? So he plays g3. Makes sense. Knight takes, and then queen d6. Rook a to c1, and there's a lot here. This is not even like the best part of the game by far. And then bishop to d7. Oh, okay, look at him. He got the bishop out. That's what's up. man and got the bishop out, but he's still garbage. Look at this bishop. What is it doing? You're garbage. It's terrible. It's the same piece. It looks exactly the same. So you can probably move the rook, but this bishop is disgusting. Where's it going, right? Lucas says, right. Where's it going? Rook A to D1, but I ain't the master. Let's go, Anita. Yeah, this bishop is absolutely disgusting. Like, come on, big dog. Come on, right? But okay, had to get it out. I understand. Got to move your bishop. Okay. Bishop D7, knight E5 from white, rook A to D1. Now this is a lot of maneuvering, and I can't wait to show you guys what else is going to happen here. Can't you play E5 as black to win a pawn on white's king side? So he's talking about back here. He means, and right here, maybe like an E5. Right, E5, that's cute. That's cute. Okay. Nice. E5. Right? You're garbage. Absolutely not a move. Because bishop takes H3 looks pretty good, but it's not. I just take these with the pawn. Now, thanks for the freebie. Appreciate the generosity. Christmas came early. Queen H6, hit him twice. Oh, okay, that's cute. Okay. H4 for the score. Thanks for the freebie. Oh, bishop H3. Oh, you got him active. Oh, okay, whatever. Rook E1, and what are you going to do? What else is next? Your bishop look crazy. And I could also go bishop C4 and bishop F1 just to trade it off and say that I am up a pawn for nothing. For nothing at all. Nothing at all. So, we're going to run that boy back. Knight E5, rook D8, rook F to D1, and look at this, man. You know your position is bad. You know it's a bad day in the office when you play this right here. Oh my goodness. What is he doing? What is he doing with his life here? Bishop to C8. Oh wow, this is absolutely gross. This is disgusting. Bishop to C8 is disgusting, bro. He says set it back up. Yeah, we about to set the pieces back up. That's what we're doing here. We're setting the pieces back up. Bishop to C8. Disgusting. After bishop C8, white plays A3, and then bishop F6. Now, it's gonna be a lot on you, chat, once we get to a certain part in the game here, because there's a lot of moves left. But you just want to see how white maneuvers here. Queen E3. I like this move a lot because he's preparing for the next game. That's exactly right. Look, thanks, Mike. Thanks for the tier 1. Yo, thanks for that tier 1, Mike. Appreciate you, bro. It's Queen E3. He moves the queen over here so we can first open up the file. Defending E5, right? There's a lot of moves here. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool, right? It reroutes. The rook could also maybe go to C5. You could just do kind of whatever here. But Queen E3 is just a better move. It's better placed here on E3. Queen E7, and then white plays H4 to stop a potential G5. Also maybe playing H5 in the future. The rook goes to D6. White goes H5. And then we double up on the bubble up here. We're going to double right here. Dub on the bub one time for the one time. Hitting some pressure on D4. Right? White plays rook to C3. Now again, rest in peace to this bishop. The bishop is still on C8. He went to D7. And then he went to C8. That was it. That was it. Bruh. Let's flip this board. Like, look at this position. If you're playing black here, you have a few things you can do. Number 1, resign. Number 2, resign. And number 3, you can just probably just play on and hope that white makes a mistake somewhere. This is terrible. Look at this. Look, what moves do you have? Black cannot move the B pawn. C6 hangs. It's terrible. Your bishop is absolutely not a piece. Might as well just cover that boy up. Right? Just cover it up. Like, if we could just, blotch this square out. Just cover it up. Move it away. Move it away somewhere. This bishop is not on the board. Okay? It's not a piece. It's not a move. It's garbage. So, okay. Black plays G6. Finally, maybe we could do something here. Now, surprisingly, the engine says that this is equal. But as a human... It belongs on H9. That is 100% correct, Rivka. That's nice right there. H9. That's real nice. I love it. Option 1 out of 5, or 1 through 5 in black's position. Resignation. Right. Right. Okay. So G6 happened. After this G6 move, white played a pretty cool move here. Bishop to C2. There's still 30 moves left here, right here, and we do want to move through this quite quickly so we can get through very, very good parts of the video and keep it shorter. So after Bishop to C2, black plays Queen to F8. Black is solid, motivated Mark. But let me tell you this, Mark. Do you want to play this position, Mark? Mark, tell me something. Mark, tell me right now. Do you want to play this position as black, Mark? Please tell me, Mark. Are you here right now, Mark? Mark, this what you want? Bruh. This is what you want out the opening. He said for a draw. He said for a draw. Okay. Okay. For a draw. All right. You're garbage. Garbage. Disgusting. Garbage. Disgusted. Garbage. Oh my goodness. What is wrong with him? Wow. Wow. This is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Garbage. One more time for the people in the back. Garbage. This is terrible. Why would you play this? Why would I ever want to play this? Ever. Ever. Seems like a semi-Slav gone wrong. Seems like everything went wrong in this game as black. Everything. Okay, so this is very bad. Let's run it back, right? Oops, sorry, that's full screen. I forgot you could do that. What button did I push for that? I forgot. I was like full screen. But here, okay, so we flipping the board and we're looking at it from white's point of view. Here, and after this Queen F8 move, you're really not doing anything. But in fact, after Queen F8, here's what happens. H takes G6, H takes G6, and we got to stop and look at the position. We got to stop, and we have to really look at this position. It is white to move. How do you make real progress here? Or real progress? It's white to move. What do you do, chat? This one's on you. This one's on you. What do you do in this position? We have King G2 from Mike Hernandez, King G2 from Quantum, G4 from Curious. Okay, I like what I'm seeing, King G2. What else we got, chat? We got some King G2, G4. I want my rook on the H file, King G2. Anything else, chat? What else y'all got? Bishop G6 from Icebergs. He just going for it. All out. Savagery. Bishop G6. F%. That's a nice one. I know that was a autocorrect or something. F5, okay. We got Knight G4 from Tyler's Rocks. G4. G4. Very good, chat. It actually is G4. Now, King G2 is another move as well. Just trying to put the rook on the H file at the right moment. But D4 hangs, and you need to be accurate if you're just hanging this pawn. White plays G4. Very nice. What's the intention? Right? Maybe swinging the queen over here. Maybe some G5 action. And again, maybe some King G2 in the air. Queen E8. You went from Queen F8 to Queen E8. Bishop D7 to Bishop C8. Your position is officially 100% Cambodian. Natural. Garbage. Disgusting. Like, this is crazy. You went Queen F8. You bought it here. You did. Like, this is disgusting. You can do anything as white here, in fact, in this position. After G4, Queen E8, and white plays G5, and we live. Very easy. Bishop goes back to G7. Now, this move here is #1 on the engine, by the way. I mean, this is a fire move. This is a sweet move, bro. Like, I'm really, really impressed by this move. Let's see if you can find it. You know, seriously. All right, but now it's white to move. It's white to move. I'm very impressed by this move. Very, very impressed. Let's see if you can find it, chat. It's white to move here. What do you think white played? And it's the #1 on the engine. Akiba Rubinstein, nasty. Very, very good chess here. But it's #1 on the engine. What do you think? What do you think it is? Okay, Queen H3, King G2, Knight G6, Knight G4. #1 on the engine. What do you think he played? I thought this was brilliant. I was like, wow, that is understanding. That is understanding what is going on in this game. That's completely understanding. The only way you would make this move is if you understand what is actually going on in this game. I see King G2. We got B4s. Bishop G6. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Rook C4. Rook C4? Oh, okay. You can't even go there, but I guess you can. King G2, B4, Queen H3. Okay. So it's not unanimous, which is pretty good. A lot of ideas from the chat here. Bishop B3, kinda, I guess. No one said it. Kinda somebody said it with Queen E4, but it's actually Bishop to E4. This move right here stops C6. It stops B6, in fact. B6 was going to be the next move, followed by Bishop to B7 and eventually C5. So White played Bishop E4, stopping you from ever moving the B pawn at all. Beautiful, right? Absolutely stunning, right? Understanding the position. Yeah, that's nice, ain't it? Bishop B4. But now you can't play B6 because I'm going to take. Very nice. Stopping what you wanted to do because this bishop is absolutely disgusting. Again, title of the video is Rest in Peace, Bishop. R.I.P. Rip Bishop. Bruh. Okay, so Bishop E4, very nice. After Bishop E4, Queen E7. So let's count. Okay, where'd the Queen go? Right, Queen E7, Queen F8, Queen E8, Queen back to E7. Little box here, a little triangulation of the Queen. But it's absolutely disgusting. You didn't do anything. Now, chat. Now, King G2. Queen C7. Okay, got you a new move. That's new. I ain't seen that one. Now he plays B4, which is actually really good. B4, it stops C5 because that was going to be the next push eventually. J-Dub Master, thanks for the follow. B4 and then A6, which, like, you know, one thing about your bishop is very bad, or you have a very bad bishop when you have a bishop that has pawns on the same color of that bishop. Let me show you here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So how many pawns do I have? Chat, raise your hand. Right, I got 6 pawns. How many pawns are on light squares? 6 of them. Bruh. Really? Okay, all right. Do I have a light square bishop? I do. This is the worst piece on the board. Rest in peace to your bishop. If you're never getting this out, then you're basically playing down a piece. 1, 2, 3, 4. Versus White having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And a great bishop at that. Absolutely disgusting. This is terrible. This is terrible for him. Right? So this is what White did. Rook C to D3. I like this move a lot. Pretty cool. Rook C to D3. And then B6. Finally. Oh my. Finally, I can move my bishop. Says Black. After 30 moves of suffering, I can get this bishop out. But it's White to move, though. So what do you do, chap? What are you going to do? It's White to move. Bishop can get out, but what are you going to do? What do we have? Full smooth, I see you. Very preventative chess, really understands opponent's plans. That's right, Trickster. That is correct. A4, Queen H3 from Curious Chimpanzee, and we have an A4. Queen H3 and an A4. We have something C6. It says KC6. Oh, knight. But that knight is actually in. Are we talking about middle game strategy? I just joined in. Nope, we're talking about rest in peace bishop to this bishop. That was absolutely gross. And also, what is White's move here? If you were White. Queen H3 and Rook C1s. The move here actually is Queen H3. So now we can put some pressure on the H file. Here. All right, so bishop to B7. And after bishop B7 here, and in fact, let's actually go back. Best move here, by the way, chat. There's a few moves. Knight C4 is move number 1. A4 is move number 2. And Rook C1 is move number 3. So it's kind of surprising that after Queen H3, Bishop B7, he almost like he didn't know what to do in a way. But it tells you a lot about his position. He was really afraid and didn't like the C5 move. He did not like this C5 move. So he played Queen F3. Why is taking on C6 not possible? Oh, it's definitely possible, but it is 100% like disgusting. I mean, you could take on G6 too. Like, it's possible. Or you could take on F7. It is possible, but it is disgusting and 100% every single time, every day, all day. Because it just doesn't, like, it's not good. It's not good. You're giving up 2 for 1. I take, you take. And then not only, you know, we said rest in peace bishop. Now, resuscitated bishop, right? It's probably the best piece on the board now. After you move your king or something, you know, bishop b7, now it's the best piece on the board. It was the worst. Rest in peace. Now it's like, I'm going to take that back, right? Bishop b7, this is the best piece on the board now. So it's the worst move to make, in fact. Worst move to make. But queen h3 after bishop b7, queen f3, which is really nice. You know, blunting the part that he wants to play. He wanted to play c5. Now we stop him from playing c5. Very good move. After queen f3, queen e7. Bro, how many times did we move this queen? e7, f8, back to e7, back to c7, back over to e7. I mean, this is crazy. Thanks for the follow, Chess Geek. Crazy, right? And white plays this move here, which is not the easiest to find. The engine wants a king move. Absolutely. King f1, g1, or h1, which is weird, h1. It's like the same thing. You're staying on the diagonal. But he played king h2. King h2. Maybe playing rook to g1, getting off of this diagonal. All kind of stuff. White plays queen back to c7. So what do you think black wants? Black definitely wants a draw here. Queen to c7 and like, yeah, bro, you know, I know this is my 7th time moving my queen, but I'm good, though. I'm good. I'm good, bro. We can take a draw. Garbage. Not today. So after this, all right, guys, what do you think? What do you think? There's a lot of moves here. I'm curious to see what you would play as white in this position. What would you do? Very interesting. I actually like this move a lot, by the way. We have rook c3, f5. f5 is gross, by the way. Ooh, don't do that to yourself. Rook c3, f5, knight c4, okay. Knight c4, knight g4. Rook d to c still. Bishop takes c6. Yikes. That's 100% face blockage right there. Zax, that ain't gonna work. That just ain't gonna work. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Here's the move here. King h3, which is interesting. This is almost like the Nigel Short king walk. We actually do have a king walk video in the playlist. Make sure you're checking that playlist. Right, the Tournament Guidebook playlist. I'll link it in the YouTube video today. But there was a Nigel Short king walk, which is pretty similar. King g3 to h4 to g5 to h6. And he walked his king up and made it. I can't remember who he played, but it's a legendary game. You could just Google it. Literally, Nigel Short king walk. You'll be able to find it. The king h3 kind of steps off. It also gives, in a way, a waiting move to see what black does. What else are we going to do here? And after queen e7, black's like, cool, I'll take a draw all day, every day. White says, we ain't drawing nothing. He plays a4 because there's so much play for white now. b5 because there's pressure here. Huge pressure. Huge pressure. Maybe rook h1, king g4, believe it or not. Bringing the queen around, sacking. There's so many possibilities for white. We're not just going to take a draw here. So after a4, bishop takes e5, right? F takes e5, and he's like, yo, this pawn's straight up hanging, but your rook's hanging, so he moves the rook. Pretty simple. Rook d7, and okay, chat, we've done all this work. We've been doing our thing here. Rubenstein found move number 2, but what is move number 1? What is your move, chat? What is your move? Giono Swag, what's up? White to move. Was d takes e5 bad? No, it wasn't bad, but it gives more play. You know, you want to trade when you have less space. Trade when you have less space. Black having less space actually wants to trade. So d takes e5, it actually is kind of helping them do what they want. So I see some king g4s, some king h4s, and rook h1s. You guys are pretty good there. King g4 is move number 1 from the engine. And this is actually what I would play too, to be honest. I like this. I'm not really trying to trade queens. And I want to try to like mate over here. But Akiba Rubenstein went this route. Nobody said it yet. Here it is. Queen f6. Wow. Interesting. I thought this was very interesting. Because if queen takes, right, which does happen, takes, now this king has like a free route this way. I'm just completely dominating this game. I'm not even really up anything. Am I 3, 4, 5, 3, 6, 3, 6? Like it's the same amount of material, but right now it's +3. It's +3, and we got the same amount of material. The reason is because of the activity. Pieces are very active. You can't do or move anything. King h7 happens. We walk the king up to g4. and we just keep moving like ain't nothing happened. Black goes rook h8. He like, finally I can breathe just a little bit. But think about this, right? Pop quiz, chat. What piece hasn't moved really at all the entire game? What piece has not moved at all for black, the entire game? What piece has not moved basically anywhere ever? Sanjay says bishop. Daniel says bishop. The bishop, okay. Iceberg leaves says f7. f7, rook on d7, f7. So in fact, if you said the bishop, you are 100% correct. The bishop went to c8. Oh, it went from c8 to d7. Back to c8. Back to b7. You played like down a piece the whole game. The whole game. White plays rook h1. King g8. Takes. Now, there's many ways you could have played this, guys. In fact, you can play a5 and just literally slowly squeeze the position. You can play rook to c1. You also have rook to c3. Rook h1 is still playable. King g8, and after a trade of rooks here, now, Rubinstein actually said, I'm going to liquidate and go. This is how strong his endgame was. Like, his endgame was dumb strong. You know, like Kappa level. Capablanca level, right? What he did here is he said, you know what, bro? Let's just get it all off the board. He played b5. And I'm telling you, like, Esteban right here was so happy, bro. Like, so happy. The reason being is because he gets the trade, bro. He just gets to trade the bishop. The worst piece he had. But Rubinstein said, hey, look, I'm much better in this endgame. Now, honestly, right here, this is like, it went from like +3 to +1. Not even gonna lie. When I saw this, I was like, I mean, yeah, I get it, but I don't get it. Because, like, you know, you kind of gave him a lot of play. Like, you could botch this with white. There is an easy way to botch this. If you're not doing your in-game studies, you could easily botch this with the white pieces. That's just how it is. But he actually ended up winning this game, and I'll show you how. White's a move, guys. Yeah, of course, right? White's just better. Activity, right? We also have the advanced pawns. It is white to move. What do you do in this position? What do you think happened? What do you think happened here? White to move? So on you, chat, what you got? What we got here? Oops, sorry. I was like, what just happened? Yeah, let's go forward. Let's fast forward here. Okay, what we got? See, d5, king g5, king f4. d5, rook b3. King h5, easy. Right, king h5, 100% Cambodian. Get the man off the board. f4, f4. Okay. Right, king activity is very important. The move here is just breaking in the center. And this is move number 1, by the way, d5. Very good move. Breaking in the center. If you let me take this, and this is going to be passed, e6 is going to be weak. You have too many weaknesses. E takes d5, rook takes. And you can play b4, but that's just like prolonging the inevitable. I'm just going to take this pawn, play f4. I have a better position. Your king is absolutely terrible when it comes to activity. If you ever try to run a king this way, like let's say, for instance, b4, I go rook b5, and you try to run a king this way, eventually, when you get the king here, I am going to play f4 and walk my king around. My king's closer to the f pawn. You have to defend here. You're playing passive, just like you were in the beginning of the game with the terrible bishop. So it's just not working. So after takes, black says, instead of playing super passive, I'm going to just play king h7, which is a wrap. Not helping. Rook takes b5, rook b8. All right, chat, it's on you. Let's try to finish this off. In game 101, what do you do? It's on you, chat. What you got? What do you do? f4. I see another for f4. King to g5. Okay. King g5 action. Got some f4 action. Got some more king g5 action. Some more f4 action. King g5. e6. f4. e6. King g5. Snap move 6. King f4. So I've seen a lot of these. You guys are actually right. f4 is the move. f4 is the... Sorry. Wow, that's garbage. Hold on. Let's One time for the one. So F4 though. F4 is the move. It's pretty good, gaining some space. You also have an F5 and E6 coming. King H6. King H6. What do you do, chat? What do you do? What do you do? King H6 happened. What's the next move? F5. I see F5's in the building. F5. Okay. Okay. Rook B1. I see another F5. 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 Look at that. Unanimous. F5. Okay. You know what? Look at that, bro. F5. Wow. Wow. You're garbage. Not a move. It went from +7 to +0. Garbage. Get him out of here. That is not a move, actually. You thought you was doing something with your life. You thought you was cool. You thought you was good. Okay. Oh. Not a move. Not a move. Let me tell you why. It's Rook C8. And after Rook C8, you thinking you all great, right? Pawn take. Oh, okay. Look at him. King takes. Now we got a draw. Now it's zeros, believe it or not. E6, try it if you like. Try check. Flex real hard. Real hard flex. Real hard flex. King F3. I take those. I take those. What else you got? Now I got 2 pawns. You got 1. Be very careful how you proceed here, big fella. Be very careful how you live your life. Bruh. Okay, let's run that back. Let's run that back. Right, how about E6? Oh, E6. Okay, look at him. E6. That's cute. That's nice right there. Bruh. Not a move. Not a move. Garbage. Oh my goodness. Takes. And after king takes, I take this one too. Okay, king takes. I go king G6. You thinking you got something here. F7. You getting close. Man, you getting real close. Rook C6 check. Right? Okay. And this is about to hang. If you go king here, I can go rook F6. Now I have 2 on the pawn, and this ends in a draw. Rook B6. Oh, that's sweet. Look at him. Oh, snap. Wow. That's fire. And then I take on F7. I say 100%. Yeah, that's right. And you draw the game. And you draw the game. That's a 5-piece. Yo, thanks for the 5 gifted subs here. That hype is real. CHZA presents. Thanks for the 5. Thanks for the 5. Make sure y'all put command 5 in the chat for my man CHZA presents with the 5-piece. Been loving the YouTube, my guy. Thanks, bro. Thanks, man. We doing one right now for the tube. Right now for the tube. That's right. That's right. This doesn't work, chat. It doesn't work. 5 is not a move. It is not a move. What Lasker say, we said this yesterday. When you find a good move, you look for a better one. So, in fact, it is rook to B1. You also have rook B2, which does exactly the same thing. Any of these moves, I think, do the same thing. But he chose rook to B1 because now there's mate on H1. Literally mate. Absolutely mate. Any way you look at it. So, black says, oh, I got to get up out of here, big fella. Oh, snap. So he went back. White went forward with king G5 and then B5. All right, chat. Can you figure this out now? By the way, it's plus 24. Plus 24 right now. It's plus 24. Bruh. Don't mess this up. It's plus 24. Don't mess this up. Don't mess this up. White to move. What you gonna do here? Don't mess this up, chat. This is on national television. Don't mess this up. F5 and we live. I see F5. I see rook H1. I see F5. He says, chat, we got F5 represent. F5, Tycorn. Okay. F5, F5, and rook H1s. Nice. Nice. Anybody else? Don't mess this up, chat. Do not mess this up. It's plus 24. See these F5s? F5 crew? Okay. F5. F5. You want to see the merch? Yeah, bro. We got to come in. You can use command merch. Okay, F5. F5. Garbage. Garbage. Not a move. Garbage. Disgusting. Garbage. It's the same thing. What are you doing? It's the same thing. We just looked at this. Didn't we? Didn't we just look at this? It's the same thing. It doesn't change. F5 does not work. I take on F5. Okay, you can try to hit me with a little checky poo. Oh, okay, oh, cute little check. Oh, nice. Oh, that's cute. Bruh. Oh, that's cute. All right, okay, okay. Yeah, F5, right? F5, Rook H1 check, you know, and you honestly, you still could win this. You know, it just takes time. You have to find the move. King takes F5 is a draw. But in fact, E6 is the one that's winning. E6 is winning now. But if you take on F5, which most of you would do, it would be a draw just like that. It would be a draw. B4, Rook G1, King F8, okay. Rook H1, I go King back to G8, check again, okay. E6 now. Wait, actually, sorry. Let's go King F8. Let's say you go E6. Rook B5 check. You're in trouble. Oh, end games are wild. Absolutely. Make sure you win your end games. Love your voice. What's up, MK? Yeah, make sure you win your end games. Big facts. Two time. So Rook H1 does win. Rook H1 does win, so shout out to you if you said Rook H1. But the better move right now, because there is no Rook check at all, is playing E6 right now. All up in his face. Absolutely. After takes, chat, what do? Find this. Figure it out. How do you do it? This is a completely winning position right now. Hopefully you did basic endgames at least. FIDE Master Klindrick, send me a message on Discord and say in-game books. In-game books, so that I can link them into today's YouTube video. Because there are certain ones, Jeremy Stillman's in-game course teaches this, Pandolfini's Traps and Zaps back in the day, or in-game manual, one of them. One of them have them in there, Building the Bridge. And when the most recent, of course, or two of the most recent, Dever Rescue's in-game manual, and then the 5th edition or 4th, both of them do the same thing. And then the other one is 100 in-games you must know. All of these are in-games that have this type of position in it. Chat, what is the move? Rook H1. Okay. Rook H1, we have F7. Rook H1, Rook E1, Rook H1, F7. Rook H1, King G7, King G6, okay? Rook E1, Rook H1. All right, chat, you're correct. It's Rook H1. Rook H1 is the best way to go. Forces the issue. King goes back to G8. And for the next move, Quantum says Rook H1, King G8, take on G6. F7, Black King to G7, White King F6, Rook later castle on B5. Rook H1, King G6, Pawn F7. King G5, King G6, okay? So we got Rook H1, King goes back to G8. What's the next move? King G6, right. It makes total sense. Take on G6. Take on G6. And right here, guys, the game is over. The man resigned, right? Rest in peace, Bishop. The whole game finally got a little bit of play, but it wasn't enough, and the game is over here. He resigned. Now let's see why. Let's see why he resigned. There's literally nothing he can do about this position, right? The only move that he could try here, let's say he plays B4. Very simple. You play F7, King F8, and Rook check, and then you end up taking the Rook. But think about this. This position right here with these 4 pieces, in fact, sorry, with these 5 pieces, pawn, king, rook, king, pawn, and leave everything else off the board, but just these pieces right here, these pieces. Keep everything on the board, or these pawns, right? Take these off. This is a winning position. Most times, it depends on whose move it is, but most times this is the ideal position you want in a winning in-game. These extra pawns are just literally like placeholders or like extra pawns that are on the board, right? So this is actually a very common in-game theme that you're looking for. So after king takes G7 and king takes G6, can't Rook B7? That's correct. In fact, Rook F8 and Rook B7 are moves you can make. So if Rook B7, chat, what do we do? Actually, sorry, instead of B4, if Rook B7, what do you do, chat? Somebody tell me, what do you do here? Somebody tell me, what do you do? This is actually a tough one. It's not as easy as you think. All right? Not as easy as you think. We got Rook D1, Rook A1. We got F5, F7, Rook C1s, Rook H8, then F7 for style points. Okay, F7, then Rook H8. H6, Rook B1. Rook E1. Rook h6. Rook d1 from Pole Jolt. Rook b1 vibing. Rook g1. We've seen a lot of f7. f7 and rook h8. Okay. All right, let's see. f7. Okay. f7, baby. Takes. Check up. Okay. You're garbage. Absolute garbage. Don't come out your room until you study all of every single in-game book you got in life. Every single one I didn't name today. You need to study all of them. Every single one. Don't come out your room until you go through every single variation in them books. One more time for the people in the back. This is disgusting. What are you doing with your life? Wow, you lost. You went from winning to losing in one move. In one day. In 1 second, millisecond. However long it took you to do this and jump off a building. You just did this to yourself. Are you serious? Wow. Oh, wow. Bruh. Somebody getting this is a family channel. This is gross. Like, you just lost. Somebody said, who said style points too? Oh, you know what I'm saying? He said, what did he say? He said, rook h8 and then f7 for style points. Okay, you know what I'm saying? For style points, boy. Garbage. Style garbage. Garbage. Oh my goodness. Takes. Sheesh. Give me everything. Start a new game. Start a new game. Just set him back up. Just set him back up right now. Just set him back up. It's a wrap. Doesn't work. Try a new one. Another move. Another move. Heading out for me. Thanks, Curious Chimpanzee. See you on the next one, bro. So the move here actually is, someone said it already, it's rook to d1. Threatening mate. Beautiful move. Threatening mate. No way out of it but defending with like rook f7 or rook to b8. If we try rook f7, you have rook to d8. And then after rook f8, then f7. That's beautiful. And then rook takes f8 as mate. Beautiful. So, rook b8. Okay, chat. Can you finish this one out? What do you do here? What do you do here? White to move. What do you do in this position? Our diagnostic says f7. Resign, says T. Yeah, that's definitely an idea. Rook d7. Okay, we got some rook d7s in the building. Very nice, very nice. f7, then rook h1. f5 now, f7, rook d7. Guys, you're actually correct. Rook d7 is move number 2 on the engine, and this actually does work. Let's see why. If rook d7, let's say maybe king f8, obviously you have rook h7, which is, this is the way that you actually learn it in in-game books. This is how they teach it to you. And then if king g8, you play f7 and you get the position we were looking for before, right? Same thing with b4. If rook d7, b4 happens, you do the same thing. You actually go rook h7 with the same idea of f7 followed by rook to h8. So pretty nice. Rook d7 does win. But what's better here and what's cool, and a lot of people don't see here, and we know this from studying in games, that this is a quick way to do it. Here's a very cool way of doing it. f7 check, right? King h8 is mate and we great. On the move, big fella, on the move. So he plays king f8. And now, can you find the next move, chat? Let's see if you can figure this out. Can you figure this one out? King goes to f8. This is a very rare one. It's very rare because the only reason why this works is because this pawn's here. The only reason why it works is because the pawn is here. Can anyone find it? What do you think? Usually, now if you said rook d7, you're totally right. You would have won this game flawlessly. Rook d7, definitely winning. Absolutely winning. But this one's actually really cool to see just in case. You may have a position of something of this sort. I see king f6 and rook to h1. Rook h1 does still win. It does still win. f5. Okay, we got some f5s. And I see f6. King f6, rook d6. King f6. Lock the king in the box. That is correct. Lock the king in the box. King f6 right here. Locks him in. So then black's like, oh wait, all I got to do is get rid of like these pawns and we got stalemate tricks. Because then my rook can just like give itself up and I'm stalemated. So e5 happens, but then we take. And then as soon as, oh, stalemate tricks. Well, first off, you got a pawn. That ain't happening. So you far away from a stalemate, my guy. You very far away. Ain't happening. So you just play e6 to shield the king from the checks. Not only do I have mate down here, but if you defend the mate, e7. Oh my goodness. Jeez. Gross. Disgusting. So, of course, that doesn't work here. Now, you could do this. Okay, how about here? And then rook here, and then e6. And in fact, the best move from the engine is rook takes e6 or rook d6. Like, these are the best moves from the engine. That's what the engine gives. Give up your rook, and then, oh, it's almost stalemate. Haha. Oh, it's almost stalemate, but it's not. It's not. Like, you're getting mated either way. It's not stalemate. All right, so you have king f6, which is really cool. I wanted to show you guys that one, but this is the standard way of doing it. Rook d7 to h7, play f7, and rook h8 is mate from there. But going back to the game here, the game ended right around, not here, check, takes. Actually, yeah, this is where the game ended, after king takes g6. The game was over right here is where where it ended, but we wanted to see the finale. Now, from the beginning, rip bishop, rest in peace bishop. Guys, don't do this to your bishop. Never do this again. Right, we're going to fly through some moves here, obviously. Right, so and back here, if you're playing from the black side here, once bishop takes c4, it's automatic that you play b5. There is no other move that you should be playing unless it's maybe c5 or whatever, but you need to play b5, a6, get the bishop out, play c5. Let me say that again. b5, a6, and the reason for a6 is because if you try to play bishop b7 without c5, or bishop b7 and c5, b5 is going to hang. The only thing defending b5 is the c pawn, so you need to play a6, right? So maybe a bishop b7, castles, a6. Now we could play c5, because if you just play c5, you are here looking crazy, blocking with your whole face. Like, this is disgusting. Yeah, you got the bishop out, right? But I mean, at the same time, you gave up a pawn for it, which I guess it can be played, but at higher levels and getting strong and want to play good chess, don't give this pawn up for free. So you play a6, and then you play c5 afterwards in semi-Slav fashion. But black did not do that in this game, so it was rip bishop the whole day, every day. It was just game over, right? I mean, look at the bishop. Look at the bishop. Just pay attention to the light square bishop, right? Look at it. Look at this. How many? I'm gonna move 25. Okay? Chat, I'm gonna move 30. I'm gonna move 30, chat. I'm gonna move 31 now. Oh, finally, I moved the bishop. Oh, I moved 31, and it's still gross. It's still disgusting. Always pay attention to the health of your pieces, right? And this is very important. So rip to that bishop. Rest in peace. So hope you guys learned something today. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel for more videos, stuff like this. We're going to have another one tomorrow, and I'm going to see y'all on the next video.